Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. I thought we could spend the day together because it's a busy day full of YouTube video, content creation, TPT product creation, and I wanted to vlog, share the process with you, but plot twist, I am recording this clip after vlogging all day because I just reviewed the footage and realized none of the clips have sound. And the irony is not lost on me that this video is about YouTube content creation and I completely butchered this vlog. However, I don't want the footage to go to waste. So we're gonna be a little unconventional. I'm gonna let the footage play and do a voiceover just explaining what I was saying in the clips since none of the audio recorded. So it's a little bit of a different vlog, but bear with me. Hopefully you still enjoy it. I got such good content today and then I messed it up in true Michelle fashion. But without further ado, let's jump into this vlog. We are kicking it off with a little get ready with me while I curl my hair. Not that anyone cares, but this was a day where I was batching content, which meant I needed to look presentable. And would you look at this? My split ends are absolutely dreadful. I am that person that only gets their hair cut once a year. I tell myself I'm going to be better and get it trimmed more often, and then I don't. So don't be like me. But by batching my content, meaning by doing things that are all related on the same day, so filming YouTube videos, attending meetings, things where I need to look presentable, it allows me to get more done in less time. And then I will follow this up with a day where maybe I don't get ready because I'm just doing computer work all day. And on this particular day, I needed to record another YouTube video, plus I was vlogging, plus I had a meeting. And the day before this, I actually batched some more YouTube content. I think I recorded 2 or 3 other videos. And part of the reason I needed to get things done in advance is because I was preparing for a trip to Germany. Now, by the time you are watching this, I'm either in Germany or I'm home from Germany. I can't remember. But we surprised Billy's dad back in January for his 65th birthday with this Germany trip. Billy's sister is coming with us. His aunt is coming with us. However, we had to wait until the kind of middle of May to go because Billy has this really big work event at the beginning of May. But before I can go enjoy Germany, I've got to get stuff done today. So we are getting ready. You can enjoy this lovely B-roll of me curling my hair. I get asked a lot about how I curl my hair. It's nothing fancy. I just use a curling wand and curl it. And then you're going to love this next clip. I am putting in my earrings. However, I was on the struggle bus and so my ear is like super red because I kept missing and like couldn't find the hole in my ear. That's what she said. But success. I finally was able to get the earring in. Then once I was ready, I headed into my office and I basically just warn you that my office is not the neatest right now because I've been in this like crunch mode to get stuff done. Pre-Germany trip, it's a little bit of a mess. However, because I had just filmed the day before, the back desk area that's behind me when I film actually looked pretty good. What you don't typically see is the mess that I am staring at while I am filming. I had just stacks of books that I've been accumulating. I had like my mom's Mother's Day card and a candle I was gifting her and things that had come in the mail and my powerlifting book. And I basically just moved them from the desk behind me to that little bookshelf in front of me. But my tripod was already set up since I had filmed the day before. And then this nightstand was a recent purchase from Amazon. This is where I now store a majority of my filming equipment. And what I really like is that I'm just showing my camera. That's my sit down camera. It's a Sony Alpha 7 III or something like that. Anyway, the top part lifts up, and what I really like is there are plugs on the inside, and this is where all of my charging cables are hidden. That way I don't have to stare at a mess. It kind of tucks them away, and I've been loving it. So you will see my microphone, and if you've ever wondered what that little black box is on my vlogs, that is my vlogging mic. It's just a clip-on microphone. It's very easy to take on and off, but when I do sit-down videos, I use this lav mic. It's a little bit more discreet, and so I'm just kind of explaining those differences. Then I need to get the rest of my room set up. So I have this chair where I sit when I film. I cover it with this blanket when I'm not filming because Ember loves to get up on it and I don't want dog fur all over it. And then my walking pad is almost always under my standing desk, but obviously I need to move that out of the way when I am filming. This standing desk, by the way, is from FlexiSpot. I have linked it before. But what I really love about it is that it is electric and you can pre-program different heights into it. So it's very easy to adjust. But I will spread that blanket out on the floor since I no longer have carpet. The vinyl flooring will make sound bounce and it kind of creates an echo in the background. So I will spread that blanket out on the floor just to create more kind of soft surfaces and help with the sound a little bit when I am filming. So here, I'm just kind of adjusting the desk, moving the walking pad out of the way. Sometimes I will put the walking pad all the way in my closet, but lately I've just been literally like pivoting it to the side. It works fine. And then I will go ahead and adjust my desk to a seated position. As I mentioned, it is electric. So what I really love is that I can pre-program heights. So I have one height for when I am standing and walking because my walking pad elevates me a little bit more. Then I have another height if I'm just standing and working at the desk. And then I have a third height for my seated sit down videos. Oh, and then I don't know what I did there, but it started to raise back up again. So putting the desk down, move the chair over into my seated position. I've got like my notes out and you're going to see my like ridiculously long charging cord. Does anyone else get these like 6-foot long charging cords off of Amazon to be able to charge their devices? I had a 10-foot one at one point. It was utterly ridiculous. But I just kind of get all of my electronics set up and then start filming. And again, not that this is really relevant for anyone else, but as I mentioned, I do use a different microphone when I record my sit down videos. So you'll see me just kind of get that attached. I run it up my shirt, clip it on, sit down. I've usually got my laptop there as I'm recording tutorials and whatnot. And then what you don't typically see is when I'm done recording, I have to take my thumbnail picture, but in order to get in the frame, I can't reach the camera. And even though there's like a timer, I have to still click the button and make sure I'm in focus. So I use a pair of scissors. Probably not the safest option, but it gives me like an extra couple of inches to be able to reach. I will start the timer on the camera, pose, take the thumbnail, and that's all the beauty behind the scenes that you don't typically get to see. Now, after that, I go ahead and review the footage, first of all, to make sure everything filmed correctly and the sound was all good, but also because the clips tend to be very large file sizes. Most of the time I'm recording in 4K. And so those clips will be anywhere from like 5 gigabytes to 10 gigabytes. So I like to get that footage uploading into my Google Drive. That way I can do other things and come back and be able to review the footage once it is fully uploaded. So during this time, while it's uploading, I will usually take Ember outside. And because I am trying to utilize small pockets of time, such as when I'm sitting outside throwing ball with her, I have been trying to read during those times. And I just started, when I was recording this, The Go-Giver. I since have finished it. Absolutely loved it. Thanks again, my friend Anna, for recommending it to me. But I will share more thoughts on my vlog at the end of the month where I recap all of my books. So at this point, I called for Ember and she came running downstairs. She's always got lots of energy, ready for some ball throws outside. So I took her out. And it kind of cracked me up because anytime I let her outside, she searches for her ball and, you know, she'll do a little sniffing as dogs do. But once she finds a ball, and there's several out there, so she picks one, she brings it over to me and I go ahead and throw it for her, which I use the Chuck It launcher. Absolutely love this. If you have a dog, you need one. And for whatever reason, she was just like, yeah, no, don't feel like going and getting that. Also, don't ask me why there is a bucket just hanging out back there. Not really sure about that. At this point, it was almost noon and I had a meeting at noon with Figma. So if that sounds familiar, it's because I did a tutorial video on FIGJAM, which is a digital whiteboard tool by Figma, and it is a possible replacement for Google Jamboard, which, as you hopefully know by now, is being retired at the end of the year. FIGJAM is actually my favorite of the 3 main replacement tools with Jamboard importers, so I will link that video if you have not already seen it. But I am so excited because I'm going to be attending ISTE with the FIGJAM team in order to be kind of an instructional guide at their booth in the expo. Now, if you've never heard of ISTE, it's essentially the largest EdTech conference. This year, it is June 23rd to 25th in Denver, Colorado, which I'm very excited about because I've never been to Denver, and I haven't been to ISTE since 2019. I actually attended and presented, but I haven't been back since, so I'm looking forward to it. You can still register, so I will leave information for that in the description box. But if you are planning on going to the conference, please, please, please come to the expo. Come say hi to me at the FIGJAM booth. I will have more information as it gets closer. However, this meeting was all about planning my sessions for their teaching theater. So I will be at the booth essentially the whole time. And if you come by, I can give little tutorials and show you what FIGJAM can do. But I also will be leading some sessions in their teaching theater, 10 to 15 minute little mini lessons. They're completely free. So definitely check the schedule. As I mentioned, I'll have more information as it gets closer. So I jumped on the call with the team just to kind of get stuff going with that, do some planning and whatnot. And then I headed downstairs because at this point I was hungry. It was my lunchtime. And this was also a chance for me just to kind of check in on my to-do list, see what all I still needed to do. And thankfully, I did a screen recording on my phone, so I actually have the audio from that part. I will play it in just a second. But first, I did want to go through my latest lunch obsession, and I know this is going to sound like ridiculous and you probably don't care. However, if you are an oatmeal fan, listen up because this has been my go-to. It's delicious, it's filling, and it's not necessarily spring vibes, it's more fall vibes, but that's okay. I essentially do 30 grams of oats, so it's a little bit under a serving, but put in as many instant oats as you want, fill it up with your desired amount of water, and then I microwave it for 1:45, but obviously that does depend on your microwave settings. And then I mix in half a scoop of protein powder. I'm using the PE Science Snickerdoodle flavor, so it has kind of a cinnamony vibe. And I will mix that half a scoop of protein powder with a little bit of water. I like to mix it together first so it doesn't get clumpy in the oatmeal. I then add it in after the oatmeal has cooked. I top it with cinnamon, which I'm a believer that you can never have enough cinnamon. So just measure with your heart. After that, in a separate bowl, I will chop up an apple, and I just get whatever apples are on sale. My favorite are Honeycrisp. I chop it into little pieces, top it with some more cinnamon, because as I said, you can never have enough. And then I will plop this into the microwave for a minute. And this gives the apples a chance to heat up, kind of start to soften up. I like to do a minute. That way, that process starts. I take them out. I then kind of mix them up so that the apples at the bottom come to the top. I can kind of get the cinnamon mixed around. I typically add a little bit more cinnamon, and then I will throw it back into the microwave for another minute. So it's 2 minutes total, but I basically do a minute, stir it up, do another minute. And then once those are done cooking, I take them out of the microwave and I just add them into the oatmeal, which again, that protein powder has kind of a cinnamony taste. And it's like just a big bowl of apple cinnamon deliciousness. And as I mentioned, it's so incredibly filling, so easy, very tasty. Give it a try. Leave a comment if you do try it. Let me know your thoughts. But I'm going to let the next clip play because as I mentioned, I did a screen recording as I talked through my to-do list, and thankfully that audio was actually preserved from my phone. So the quality isn't quite the same, but at least you'll get to hear my real-time thoughts. You know, I love Google Tasks. I'm going to pop up a screen recording. This is how I organize all of my to-do lists, and I love that it syncs with my Google account so I can open it up on my computer, but also on my phone. So I have a power list, which is my list of things I need to do today. I have a week list, which is the things I need to get done by the end of the week, and then a future list for all the other things. So taking a look at my power list, I can check off meeting because that is done. The 517 video is the one you're currently watching. I'll go ahead and check it off. We're not quite done yet, but you know, we're getting there. And then the 524 video is the one I recorded earlier. So I still have my training, and then the digital planner sale, I can't do that until 11 p.m. Bridget and I posted the new digital teacher planners for the 2024-2025 school year, and we always run a sale for the first 2 weeks of May. Since today is April 30th, that means tomorrow is May 1st, but because the sale technically starts at midnight Eastern time, I take over the responsibility of getting that done. And so I set the sale at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time on the 30th because I have to manually go in and change all of the prices on our website. But if I take a look at my week list, because I still have some time this afternoon to get stuff done, I think I'm going to start working on creating these May digital mystery puzzle templates. So I'm going to move that from my week list to my power list. And then you'll notice I attached dates to a lot of the to-do list items to help keep me on track. So tomorrow I'll be reviewing my session and then presenting it on Thursday. I also will review and schedule my video on Thursday, outlining June podcast episodes. That's going to be on Sunday. I did not put the date for that, but I should. So I'm just going to attach that to Sunday the 5th. And that will be at 8 a.m. Sometimes I add a time if it is at a specific time. Other times I just leave it as the day. And then I have some other random things that I will try to get done by the end of the week. But that is it for today. And then I stop the recording so we lose audio again. But essentially, I am just going to eat my oatmeal, and you'll see me take a bite here in a second. So can confirm, absolutely delicious. Look at this. So good. And then I headed upstairs and jumped on my walking pad so that I could get some steps in, because on days when I'm filming, I feel like I'm just seated the entire time and I like to get some movement in. And when I jump into computer work, that is the perfect time for me to walk on my walking pad. So as I mentioned with my to-do list, I have those monthly templates, the digital mystery puzzle templates and the digital escape room templates that I release every month. And eventually I would love to, have them out before the month starts. Wishful thinking. That day is not today, but it's a work in progress. So I wanted to go ahead and jump into creating the May digital mystery puzzle templates, which thankfully, by the time you are watching this video, those are now up along with the May themed digital escape room template. It's Escape the Gnome's Garden. So both of those will be linked in the description box if you are interested. But I wanted to just kind of walk you through a little bit of my process. Now, I have created videos in the past where I show you behind the scenes of creating a product. This is going to focus less on the actual product creation and more on the organization. So how I get the system set up with creating a new product, kind of the steps that I follow, how I organize all the files. And again, because I did a screen recording, thankfully I do have the audio kind of preserved. So I'm going to jump into a screen recording. And again, you're going to hear my thoughts in real time, just behind the scenes of how I organize specifically my Google Drive for my products, but then also my Canva files. Organization wise within Google Drive and Canva. So in Google Drive, I have a folder for TPT, and then I have a folder for my products, and then I have a folder for every single product that I create. And within here, I have my digital mystery puzzles, and then I have a folder for each month. So I already created the folder for May. I think I did that when I was making the April one. Once I go in there, I have more folders because I love folders, but I have one with the cover and thumbnails, the actual folder that I share out with customers where they can make copies of the templates, the images that I create. I keep original copies of the templates just in case anything happens to them, and then other images. But if you go into any of these right now, they are blank because I have not done anything with it. And then these are the templates that I duplicate and then go in and customize. In Canva, similarly, I have folders. So I'm going to go into products, digital mystery puzzles, March, April. Okay, I need to make a folder for May. So I'm going to do folder and April digital mystery puzzles. Continue. Okay. And then, why did I call it April? Oh, Michelle, get it together. Okay, let's rename that May. I think because it's currently April. That's where my brain was. But from here, I'm going to go into last month, so April, and I'm going to duplicate both of these files. So I'm just going to make a copy, and then I'm going to make a copy, and I'm going to move both of these into that folder that I just created. So May Digital Mystery Puzzles, move them in there, and then I'm going to go back into that folder, and I'm going to fix the title. So instead of copy of April, it's going to say May, and this is also going to say May. And I then go in and just edit those files to fit the new month and do all of the other product creation stuff. But this is how I kind of keep track of everything, keep it organized, and I don't know, it works for me. It probably wouldn't work for everyone. It's a little bit of overkill with folders, but that's how I operate. And then we have some more lovely B-roll, but this time it's me walking and working, which is even more unflattering and uninteresting. But I spent a couple more hours working on these products. As I mentioned, they are now available in my TPT store, so I will link them for you, especially the digital escape room. It doesn't have to just be in the month of May. It's a perfect like springtime activity. So at this point, I am outroing the video, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to realize that none of the clips, had sound, and it was tragic. However, what I am basically discussing here is how I want to cut myself off from work, because I've gotten into a bad habit of working until it's time to go to the gym. I go get my training done. I come home, shower, eat dinner, and then I'll spend from like 9 until 11 o'clock at night working some more. And one of the books I read recently called Sleep Smarter, which I will share more of my thoughts on this again at the end of the month when I do my little recap vlogs. But one of the things that struck me from this book was the fact that as people, especially in our busy society, we don't prioritize decompressing at the end of the day and kind of down regulating ourselves. We go from a super busy day and then we expect to just lay in bed and be able to fall asleep. And it's like, of course, that's not going to work like that. So I'm trying to prioritize cutting myself off from work basically before I go to the gym. And then after that, really focusing on de-stressing, getting into like sleep mode. So getting my body to calm down, taking a hot bath, drinking hot tea, stretching, foam rolling, reading a book, and getting off of my phone and watching TV and, being on the computer and trying to just, give my body a chance to kind of come down from the stress for the day. And so far, I do think it has been working. My sleep quality has been a lot better. But again, more on that at the end of the month when I do my little recap vlog. However, I did want to mention one thing I've been doing on my phone to help with that. I know you can set up like sleep mode on your phone. I haven't played around with that enough, but one thing I do at the end of like my work day is I go ahead and turn down the brightness on my phone. So I just go into the settings and adjust it down. I always have the dark mode on my phone anyway, but by bringing the brightness down, it's kind of a signal to me. Anytime I pick up my phone, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be on that right now. All that being said, that is going to wrap it up for this vlog. I know that this was a little bit unconventional, a little bit different from my vlogs, but that's because I messed it up. I will try to be better next time. As you can see, my microphone was on, the little light is there. I just had hit a button and muted it. Little did I realize at this time. However, I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I thought about doing more vlogs like this with voiceovers. It wouldn't be me talking to the camera. It would be more of like that B-roll footage just behind the scenes. I would record my day and then recap it afterwards and share my thoughts. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell. And as I mentioned, leave a comment. I'd love to be able to connect with you. And as always, let's see if I can time this up with the actual video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one. I did a horrible job of timing that up, so now I'm just talking until I actually get to the end and do my very signature camera slap. It's coming up in just a second. Let's see. 3, 2, 1.